Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 11th, 2024 and Barcelona estimate that they will be making 350 million euros per season once the Spotify Camp Nou is fully reopened. Also, Barcelona are still paying the salaries of Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba even though they are playing in Inter Miami. And finally, Ronald Araujo's statements are hinting that he will renew with Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before I begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to hit the Goal Kids, Kit Bag, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now I'll begin with the news that Barcelona are estimating that they will be making 350 million euros per season once the Spotify Camp Nou is fully renovated. Now, Barcelona's move to the Olympic Stadium, Luis Companys and Montjuic has not been easy on the club because not only is Barcelona paying the city of Barcelona rent money in order to use the stadium, but they have also seen a huge drop in ticketing sales because after all, the Montjuic Stadium only holds 50,000 people as opposed to the 90,000 people that the Spotify Camp Nou used to hold before the renovation. But also a lot of people have not been going up to Montjuic because it's quite a hike for locals. And of course, who wants to make that hike when the team was playing horrendous football last season? And due to the reduced capacity of the stadium and the reduced attendance, Barcelona have lost 100 million euros last season because in the 2022-2023 season, which was the last season that Barcelona played at the Camp Nou, they made 229 million euros in ticketing, and last season they only made 126 million. So from 229 to 126, that's 103 million euros that Barcelona lost by playing in Montjuic. But don't worry, because this season that figure will go up as Barcelona will reportedly make 154 million euros, which is a 28 million euro increase from last season because of course the second half of the season Barcelona will play at the Spotify Camp Nou. Now even though the Camp Nou will only be open for a few months and it will be at a 60% capacity during the season, Barcelona are still estimating that they will make 28 million euros and more than last season. And that, of course, will continue to rise as by the end of next season, the capacity will be at 90,000. So Barcelona will make even more money. And of course, they will be there for a full season. And then by the summer of 2026, Barcelona expect that the Spotify Camp Nou will be fully completed and where it will have a capacity of 104,600 people. And once that happens, Barcelona estimate that they will make or will be making 350 million euros per season. And by the way, that's a conservative estimate. So it could be even more. It could be 400 million euros per season, which will be a huge financial boost for the club. And that, of course, will be how Barcelona will pay for the 1.45 billion euros loan that Barcelona have had to borrow from a total of 20 investors. Now, Barcelona currently have a grace period where they don't have to pay any of that money back, but that grace period will end at the end of this season. So by next season, Barcelona will start paying back that loan. But again, by next season, we'll be back at the Spotify Camp Nou full time. And by 2026, Barcelona will conservatively be making around 350 million euros per season, which again is a huge boost, 100 million more than what Barcelona used to make before the Spotify Camp Nou's renovation. Now, speaking of spending money, It's reported that Barcelona are still paying for the salaries of Lionel Messi, Jordi Alba, and Sergio Busquets, even though the three Barcelona legends are currently playing in Inter Miami. Now, as we know, during the 2020 to 2021 season, the pandemic hit. Barcelona faced a lot of financial challenges as stadiums were closed and no people were allowed. And as such, Josep Maria Bartomeu negotiated salary deferments with all the Barcelona players. Amongst them was Messi, Busquets, and Jordi Alba. And thanks to those salary deferments, Barcelona are still paying the salaries of the three players until today, even though all three of them no longer play with Barcelona and are currently playing in the MLS for Inter Miami. Now, the great news is that it's reported that Barcelona will finish paying off their debt to all these three players by the end of the season. So by the summer of 2025, Barcelona will have completed their debt payment to Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Lionel Messi, which of course will be a huge financial relief for the club. Now, paying the salaries of these three players has not affected the financial fair play or the salary wage limit calculations, because the salaries of those players, even though were not paid in full, were calculated as part of Barcelona's expenditures for the 2020-2021 season. So their salaries did not affect the computation of the financial fair play during these past 2 or 3 seasons. But of course, it's still a financial burden for Barcelona. And thankfully, this financial burden will lift at the end of this season. Now, more news, because Ronald Araujo today gave an interview, and during his interview he hinted that he could be accepting a contract renewal with Barcelona. Now, let's start with Ronald Araujo's recovery, because of course he has been recovering from that surgery that he had on his right thigh, where he got injured during the Copa America this past summer. And in regards to his recovery, the Uruguayan captain said, "I'm progressing very well and that makes me happy. It hasn't been easy, but I've learned a lot, both physically and mentally. The recovery is going well. I'm very happy. The club is surprised by how I'm doing. I'm going to come back like a bull." So, of course, Araujo giving us that great update that he is recovering well and that the club are surprised about how fast he's recovering. And in fact, as I reported in yesterday's video, Ronald Araujo is expected to come back by November 23rd against Celta Vigo, which is much sooner than we initially thought. We thought Araujo was not going to be coming back until after the winter transfer market, but it looks like he will be coming back much sooner, which is, of course, great news for Barcelona. And this is where the important statements come, because Ronald Araujo was asked about his time in Barcelona, and this is what the Uruguayan captain had to say. "I think I should have scored more goals, but I'm happy. I think it's been a great 5 years. The truth is that it's a dream to be able to be at this club and to have been here for 5 years. I hope that that many more will come." So this is where it gets interesting, because this is the first time that Ronald Araujo has expressed or talked about the future and staying in Barcelona, because of course Ronald Araujo's contract does expire in the summer of 2026. Barcelona sent Araujo a contract renewal offer many months ago, which he has ignored, and since then, every time he's been asked about the contract renewal, he's always said the same: "Well, I'm happy here, but we'll see what happens." He never has been affirmative, or he's never been very convincing about what he's said. He's always talked about how we're gonna see this or we're gonna see that. And this is the first time where Araujo says, "I hope that many more years will come." In other words, saying that he hopes to stay at the club for much longer, which begs the question, does that mean Araujo has changed his mind and he wants to stay at Barcelona? I'm very curious to hear you guys' thoughts, so let me know down below in the comment section. Now, we will end this video with the news that Ronald Koeman has talked about Frankie de Jong's recovery, and this is what the Dutch coach had to say. "I spoke to Frankie on the phone. He is still a long way off at the stage 2. He played once for 15 minutes and he already found that very tense and tough. Last weekend, he played something like 10 minutes. He has to play first and get rhythm and be 100% fit." So Ronald Koeman saying that he spoke to Frankie de Jong and that Frankie de Jong told him that, he doesn't feel 100%, that he was a little bit scared, felt a little bit worried, which is, of course, concerning because if Koeman is saying it, it means most likely it's real because after all, Frankie de Jong has a very close relationship with Koeman. So if Koeman is saying that Frankie called him and expressed his worrisome or his concerns, that means that really did happen and Frankie de Jong is concerned about his injury, which means that most likely Frankie is not going to be 100% for Bayern Munich and Real Madrid matches, which of course is a little bit concerning because we would like to have all of our players ready for that match, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. However, I do have one concern about this interview because why the hell is Koeman talking about Frankie? A, he's no longer a Barcelona coach, and B, Frankie's not one of his players. As you know, Frankie is injured, so he's not playing for Netherlands. So why is Koeman discussing a Barcelona player? And also, if Koeman has a very close relationship with Frankie, why is he divulging personal conversations? Koeman, what is going on with you? Lately, you've been off the wall with your statements. Remember, last time he was criticizing Barcelona for playing Frankie and getting him injured, according to him. But let's not forget what he did to Pedri, playing him 90 minutes of every single match, which ended up resulting in a very serious injury for Pedri. So who is he to talk about injury and saving players? But anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did do the podcast earlier today, so make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. And as always, Busquets.